will lift out to the north and east, as Alex mentioned, pretty quickly, 40-45 miles per hour. So as these storms continue to race in that direction, that's what we've got our eye on right now. Again, I know with the rotation here with these storms, it has been very broad in nature, but that could potentially develop that wall cloud that starts to lower. And as we see that lowering and rotating, a funnel and then a tornado easily produced with the conditions that we do have in place. Now, earlier this morning, as those storms rolled through the metro area, we had this thing called a gust front, or this outflow boundary that got kicked out ahead of these storms. Our concern then turned to the southern side of our viewing area, because that outflow boundary will cut off moisture and the warmth going into these storms. That has not been the case for those south of the metro area. So as we continue to track and monitor this tornado warning that is in effect until 7:30 this morning, we have our eyes on Bates County and Henry County. And this may even clip with this warning parts of southeastern Cass County, in addition to southwest Johnson County, as that moves up in the Warrensburg direction up closer to 50 Highway. Alex, do you have any new information coming in right now?
Yeah, our friends at the National Weather Service did comment that they had a debris signature consistent with tornadic debris down there in northeastern Bates County that is away from Butler. Again, this is the new tornado warning that just came out a little while ago. Here's Butler, here's I-49 due south of Kansas City. So this does not include the metro. We're looking well south of Kansas City along I-49. Butler is out of this tornado warning barely. We are looking along Missouri Highway 18, heading towards Missouri Highway 7. That's Urich over towards Blairstown on the way to Clinton. There has been some tightening circulation right in about here, right on top of the northeastern Bates County there along Highway 18. And we have noticed a little bit of some spin out there on the velocity image. So this is what we're looking at. Some reds right next to some greens indicating that rotation. The red is wind moving away from our radar out of Pleasant Hill. The green is winds moving towards Pleasant Hill. So that counterclockwise circulation, heading towards Missouri Highway 18. Luckily, this is in a rural area, northeastern Bates County, away from Butler again. However, it is traveling towards the north and east, roughly at about 45 miles an hour. So I'm going to put a track on this part. Again, moving towards the north and east. Not too many cities in the way of this, so that's good news. I'm going to try to move this over a little bit here. Heading towards the Ballard area by about 7:14, Maysburg 7:20, Urich around 7:30 in the morning, then on to Hartwell. So if you notice any of your towns in that little gray spot, in that little gray box, you need to be getting to your safe spot right now. Lowest level of your home, away from the exterior walls and the windows. The basement is the best. If you don't have a basement, get into an interior closet or bathroom and just wait out this circulation. Right now, everything is radar indicated. We don't really have any confirmation from our friends at the National Weather Service, but we may have seen a little debris signature on our radar here over the last couple of minutes. You can definitely see a little bit of a drop out there, maybe just north and east of Butler, right around there. Maybe there's something that has formed up there over the last few minutes, Michelle.
Yep, Alex, I'm going to go ahead and zoom on a little tighter to that damage detector or that correlation coefficient that you were just talking about. So when we see kind of one of these bright spots in the sea of red, this is telling me that there is the potential that there could be some debris with this cell, as we are watching that rotation there. So for anyone along Northeast State Route D, Northeast State Route BB, in between Ballard and Johnstown, as you move up towards, this is Missouri 18 right here, and starting to see kind of this expand a little bit. Again, this is not a confirmed tornado on the ground. This has just been detected with our rotation of this storm cell. But with this damage detector, this is telling me that there is the potential that there could be potentially something there. So that would be moving in between, again, Ballard and Johnstown, having some impacts right along Missouri 18. If this continues on, this will likely go in between Maysburg and Piper, passing over Missouri 18 up towards Northwest Highway K. So this is an area, if you live in please seek shelter immediately. Get into your safe place. Get into your basement. If you do not have a basement to get in at this point, please make sure that you are putting as many walls in between you and the outdoors as possible. That's going to be very important as this rotation moves in this direction. So that's what we're watching right now. I do want to get back over to radar. So Alex, if you have any more updates on radar, but I just wanted to point this out because this is kind of growing in size and that is a bit concerning. Yeah, that's definitely something to watch. Again, luckily this is in a relatively rural area. Again, northeastern Bates County heading into western Henry County. So a very early downstream heads up to folks in Clinton. Here's Clinton right here, just outside of the tornado warning polygon. But we may see something head close to, again, 7 Highway from Cass County through Bates County and then over towards Henry County here very soon. This notch right in here, this is where we're noticing that circulation and that tornado debris signature. This is all a part of the warning that goes until 7:30 this morning. So we still have about another 19 minutes or so on this. Here is the circulation. You can see a little bit of some reds and some greens there. I'm going to put a little rotation arrow here where we're really watching out for. Right in there, right where that counterclockwise spin is happening. We have some reds and some greens very tightly packed together. We also, as Michelle was mentioning, that we had that little dropout on our debris detector. Here's our rotation tracker. It kind of gives us a better look at what's happening in the thunderstorm itself. Relatively weak rotation as of right now, but we do have at least enough confidence to go with that tornado warning. There's a better look at the debris detector. Somewhere right in there where we're getting a little bit more greens as opposed to dark reds or even some pinks. I'm going to zoom down a little bit and get some roads for you here. This is just south of Ballard in Bates County, Missouri, all south of Kansas City. Here's Highway 18, and it just crossed State Highway BB and 9004 Road south of Ballard. So if you're in Ballard, you need to be in your safe spot. If you know anybody east of Ballard along Missouri Highway 18, they need to also be in their safe spot. Possibly some debris out there getting launched up into the air that's getting picked up by our radar. Heading towards the northeast, roughly at about 45 miles an hour. I'm going to zoom things back out a little bit. Johnstown is in that as well. It is just to the west and northwest of Johnstown, heading towards Piper, and then potentially on its way to the northwestern side of Clinton. So again, early heads up for folks in Clinton, Missouri. Same thing towards Hartwell, Garland, Livingston, Missouri, and then on to about Petersburg if this does hold its current track northeast at around 45 miles an hour, getting towards Hartwell by about 7:26. So here in about 13 minutes or so, Garland by 7:32, Livingston, and then on to about Petersburg as you look out towards 7:37. Again, early heads up for folks in Clinton. This is well to the west of Clinton right now. You are not in the tornado warning for Clinton itself. However, it's going to be crossing Henry County here very soon, and that's where we may get, and that's, Michelle, that's a confirmed tornado warning right now. It is? Yep. Okay. That is a flashing pink polygon. That is a confirmed tornado. So we do have something on the ground. It has been confirmed by spotters, and you can definitely see that debris detector. It's getting a lot larger now in between Ballard and Johnstown. So something definitely out there approaching Highway 18, moving towards the north and east. Again, a lot of rule space in between where it is right now and heading towards about 7 Highway. However, anyone in 7 Highway or along 7 Highway around the Hartwell area, you need to be getting to your safe spot right now as we do have a confirmed tornado now on the ground with that newest update from the National Weather Service. Okay, so I'm reading chat here. A confirmed tornado is located 8 miles northwest of Montrose or 14 miles east of Adrian, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So this is a radar confirmed tornado. As Alex has already showed you, the potential for some debris with our debris detector. I am showing you radar right now, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom on in to the area that we are most concerned with. Now it's pushing towards the east of Ballard. So you can see right here in Henry County, as this moves over into Henry County here, this little notch See, this is the inflow, the warm, moist air getting pulled into that storm system, the rotation developing that we already saw near Ballard, and then this is going to continue to have some impacts along Northwest Highway K as that moves really just skirting right by Piper, headed up towards Hartwell along Missouri 7. Missouri 18, though, is where we are currently seeing those issues. And as I go ahead and actually show you the radar scan here of how this kind of has developed, you can see these storms racing, and they are moving very, very quickly. So that is also part of the reason that this has been a little harder to detect until we started to see that broader rotation. So let me go ahead and stop this now that we do have things kind of pulled out a little bit. I do want to go ahead and update now that we do have that tornado confirmed by radar. So we're going to go ahead and put the track on this and give you the timeline here. Let me just slide this over so we'll be able to see areas that have potential to get impacted by this. So Hartwell, you are next in line. Please make sure that you are getting down in your safe spot. That is going to be very, very important here. Get into that basement, get into an interior room, a bathroom, or a closet away from windows. Put as many walls in between you and the outdoors as possible. Garland will also potentially be impacted by that. Livingston kind of on the outskirts of where this is heading in that direction, but still go ahead and seek shelter if you would. Petersburg, as you move closer to Missouri 13, and then Shawnee Mound. That will be a little later on, closer to the end of the tornado warning if it does continue to hold together. So again, bringing you up to date if you're just joining us right now, we are kind of blowing out coverage because we do have a tornado that has been confirmed by radar. We have seen that potential debris ball with our debris detector that I know Alex is getting ready to show you coming up here in just one moment. It just kind of gives us a better picture of what's going on because we can see things with radar. We can detect rotation, and luckily for us, we have had some of those storm spotters down into portions of Bates as well as Henry County, able to actually pick up on the rotation, get eyes on this and say, yes, this is lowering, this is rotating. So now that we have all of this confirmed, I'm going to go ahead and send it on over to Alex. He's going to give you an idea of what this kind of looks like as far as any debris getting lofted into the air from this potential tornado that is indicated by radar on the ground. Yeah, Michelle. Luckily, over the last couple of scans, looks like we're seeing less evidence of something getting lofted into the air. Over the last couple of scans, when we just came back to the debris detector a little while ago, this was all yellow, if not a little bit of green, indicating quite a bit of something getting lofted into the air. Not so much of that now as this has crossed over Missouri Highway 18, so maybe something is kind of resetting itself a little bit or maybe lifted briefly. However, still a tornado warning. It does include Hartwell, anyone along 7 Highway in between Creighton, Missouri and Clinton to the south and the east. Anyone along this stretch of 7 Highway here into Henry County. You need to be in your safe spot. There has been a confirmed tornado. Unsure if it's still out there on the ground. We're really not seeing much from the damage detector here, but Hartwell, this is heading towards you within the next 3 minutes. So Hartwell for sure needs to be in their safe spot right now. On to about Petersburg. Maybe this moves just to the south and southeast of Petersburg and eventually crossing Missouri Highway 13, hopefully north of Clinton. Here's Clinton down here, again, outside of that confirmed tornado warning polygon, but maybe something close to Clinton. So just heads up for folks in Clinton right now. This is due west of you and mainly north of Missouri Highway 18. As far as any additional updates from the National Weather Service, really not seeing much there, but there is some what looks like better news on the damage detector that we're seeing maybe something lift up here over the last couple of scans. But if there's anything still left in there, it's going to be right about here where I put this rotating arrow, somewhere in between Maysburg and Piper. This just crossed Missouri Highway 18. It is moving towards the north and west. You notice they kind of shortened up that confirmed tornado warning polygon. This goes until 7:30, by the way, and right now 7:19, so we still have about 19 minutes left. Anyone along 7 Highway in between Creighton and Clinton, Missouri and Henry County, you need to be in your safe spot as this is traveling towards Missouri Highway 7, eventually over towards Missouri Highway 13. When we take a look at radar again,
You can definitely see not as good of a notch indication there on radar, which is a good sign. Maybe things are getting just a little bit more muddy in that heavy rain band. By the way, lots of thunder and lightning. That has been the story all morning long in the Kansas City metro. Some gusty winds, some hail. That has transitioned over towards the Missouri side, towards the south and east. And right now we have some very heavy rainfall, maybe potentially something rain-wrapped just south of Urich as it heads towards Missouri Highway 7. Michelle, are you seeing any updates?
I did see at 7:15, I don't know if you caught this or not, Alex, City of Rich Hill, Missouri, they had one of their deputies on scene confirm that the storm rain-wrapped tornado was officially on the ground. I don't know if you did catch that.
I did miss that.
Okay, so when we have things starting to kind of muddy up here, we have the rain kind of wrapping around the storm system. When we get that little notch, that inflow notch, that's very, very evident. It's very easy to pick up on the fact that there is possible rotation. So that definitely caught our eye. But now that, the storm is kind of wrapping in some of this rain, we still are having probably some issues with visibility. So let's just continue to treat this as the tornado is still on the ground. We did have official confirmation of that as this continues to track out to the northeast. And Alex, this was 45 miles per hour, if I'm correct?
Yes.
45 miles per hour. So moving in between Urich and Hartwell up towards Petersburg, Shawnee Mound, closer to Missouri 13. As we had mentioned before, Missouri 7, seeing this rotate right over the top as we speak. Let me go ahead. I'm going to zoom out just slightly from where we have the center of that rotation. I'm going to go ahead and put another track on this for our friends that are down into Henry County. This is going to be moving to the north and east. It's going to be just north of the Clinton area where we do have that rotation. So as that moves through northern Henry County, away from Hartwell, up towards Petersburg here, that is after the warning is set to expire. And since Alex was just showing you that debris signature, it's kind of coming down a little bit. We're not necessarily going to be dealing with a tornado on the ground past that warning potentially, but still rotation that we are going to be watching as that moves up towards Petersburg. So make sure that you are in your safe space. Shawnee Mound and up through Leeton, that'll be next in line here in between 740 and 750 as this rotation is able to hold together.
Michelle,
the ingredients out, yes.
They are going to issue another tornado warning downstream of the current warning here pretty soon.
Okay, so maybe things just got muddied up a little bit, rain wrapping around this, becoming maybe a little bit of an issue to keep eyes on it. But we are going to continue with our coverage here as long as the tornado warning is still issued because of the history of this particular cell that has been known to produce a tornado. It did reach the ground. We had deputies have eyes on that even as that started to become rain wrapped and muddied up. So again, if you're in Petersburg, if you're in Leeton, as this moves closer to Missouri 13 and eventually Missouri 23, moving in the direction in between Knob Noster and Green Ridge, down through Windsor, up towards Lamont. These are areas that I want you to get in your safe space. Maybe take your phone and watch us online so that you're able to get those severe weather alerts, the severe weather warnings, so we can let you know when it does pass through your location and it is safe to come out. Again, we are continuing to track a tornado warning. Alex, what time is this in effect until?
7:30 for the old warning, still waiting for the new warning to drop here any second.
Okay, are you seeing any of the debris detection, anything on debris detection right now?
Definitely not as good as what it was when it was closer to Missouri Highway 18.
Okay.
And this looks to have just crossed 7 or getting very close to 7 here over the next couple of minutes. You can still see a little bit of some yellows or even oranges indicating a slight drop in what is uniformly just rainfall. When we notice those oranges, especially the greens and the yellows, that's where you start to notice that, okay, there is some weird shaped objects there in the low levels of the atmosphere. Really not noticing that, and there's the new warning just coming out there. This is, again, away from Clinton. However, it is on the north side of Clinton, Highway 13 north of Clinton, all the way into Johnson County on the Missouri side. Same thing for 7 Highway northwest of Clinton as you head over towards about the Uric area and then on to Garden City. Let me see how long this new warning is going to be out for. Until 8 o'clock this morning. So we have another 35 more minutes on this. This also goes into the southeastern side of Johnson County. So early heads up for Chilhowie, for Leeton, for Calhoun, for Windsor. Along Missouri Highway 52, excuse me. That is going to be northeast of Clinton on your way towards the Sedalia area. So heads up for those locations. Michelle, we'll get radar updated.
I was going to say, we're starting to see more of the notch return here. So like right in here. This is what kind of watching that notch kind of reform as that moves away from Hartwell, and that is heading up towards Petersburg in between Chilhowie and Shawnee Mound, again impacting Missouri 13 as this holds together. And we've got our eye on this cell in particular because it does have a history. It has produced some very broad rotation at the start. This is something that Alex and I had mentioned previously and earlier this hour, that was a bit concerning to us, that it starts broad and then sometimes it does start to tighten up. And once that did tighten up, we had some eyes on that with one of the deputies down there in Henry County, seeing a rain-wrapped tornado actually on the ground. So that is the reason that we are wall-to-wall with our coverage right now. I know that here in the metro area, we are basically in the clear for any severe weather at this point in time. So if you are joining us early this morning, please bear with us with this tornado that is still potentially on the ground down in Henry County, moving to the north of Clinton. I'll go ahead. I'm going to just zoom out just a tad bit here because I do want to go ahead and get a track on this just to give you an idea with that updated tornado warning that has been extended through until 8 a.m. Just very quickly taking a look at the movement of this. It was located near Uric, or 10 miles west of Clinton, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So we're kind of upping the forward movement and of this storm cell. So let me go ahead, get this updated very quickly, and update our speed on this to give you a proper timeline of what to expect, as that radar indicated notch definitely drawing things in a bit of a concern for folks early this morning. Let me get this out of the way so we can actually see the cities and time frames here that we're looking at. So again, our friends in Petersburg, you're going to be impacted here very, very shortly, within the next 5 minutes or so. So please make sure that you are down in your safe space. Shawnee Mound next in line at 7:40, Leeton at 7:48, Sutherland about 7:55. So just before 8 a.m. moving into Sutherland and Windsor. These are areas that are not too far from the center of that rotation as we speak. Again, storm moving fairly quickly early this morning. Bryson will be next in line after 8 a.m., followed by Montserrat and then Knob Noster a little after 8 a.m., about 10 minutes past the hour. Again, continuing to watch and monitor this rotating cell that has been known to produce a tornado. Alex, do you have anything new?
Nothing new from what it looks like. The big difference between the previous warning and the now current warning is that nothing is confirmed with this newest warning now as it moves into Johnson County, Missouri, northern Henry County. A quick update here. Looks like tornado sirens not sounding as of right now in Windsor, so we're going to wait on that for a little while. However, this is going to be closing in on Windsor here very soon, here in the next few minutes. So we're going to keep Windsor updated. Here's another look at the velocity. Again, when we have these blues and greens close to the reds, that's when we could see some circulation. That's what we call a couplet, and that's usually where we see some spin. Notice that it's relatively broad. It's kind of broadened out a little bit more. Here's the old warning in the pink, that purple. That was was a confirmed tornado warning. The new warning polygon is this red from Hartwell and Urich, now towards the north and east. So Petersburg, you need to be in your safe spot just to be on the safe side. Same thing for Shawnee Mound along Missouri Highway 13, Leeton, Sutherland, and then on its way into southeastern Johnson County on the Missouri side. That's going to be a little bit closer towards 8 o'clock this morning. So we still have another about a half hour to go on this new warning that came on in. Let's take a look at the debris detector, the damage detector, to see if we see anything. Again, really not much happening here. However, this storm has produced a tornado back towards Bates County, really right along the Bates and Henry County line about 15 to 20 minutes ago. So we're going to keep watching this over the next couple of minutes. Maybe some hail or some very heavy rainfall around the Chilhowie area. You can see that confirmed tornado warning allowed to expire here over the last couple of seconds. So anyone along Missouri Highway 13 north of Clinton, you need to be in your safe spot right now to be on the safe side. Again, that's Petersburg, Shawnee Mound, over towards Leeton as well here. I'm going to put a quick little track on this, get you a little bit of a timing update with the last couple of scans of velocity. Shawnee Mound right around 7:38 early on this morning, here in about 8 minutes. Leeton 7:44 on to about Windsor or close to Windsor as we head towards about just before 8 o'clock in the morning at 7:53. Whiteman Air Force Base is included on this list, but as of right now, this would be passing south and east of Whiteman. If it does maintain its structure and its form and continues out to the north and east, right around 45 miles an hour. Michelle, I believe we also have this second warning outside of the viewing area that we need to watch as well. This is for Vernon County. Here's I-49, here's Rich Hill in Missouri. We had some circulation. This is when it all started, right around 6:50 to 7 o'clock around the Rich Hill, Butler areas where we had that broad rotation. That has become our tornado warning that we're tracking. We're going to have to keep eyes on this tornado warning in Vernon County, Michelle, outside of the viewing area for now, but just something to kind of keep on the back burner as of right now.
Well, because that could definitely have some impacts as that moves into extreme southeastern Bates County, and then if that were to continue up into Henry County, where we currently have that tornado warning. I want to bring everyone up to date, just so Alex can kind of wrap his head again around radar and look for any updates. We do have this tornado warning that is for northern Henry County and for portions of southern and really southeastern Johnson County on the Missouri side to the southeast of the Warrensburg area and to the north of Clinton. We also have that tornado warning that is just outside of our viewing area with that tornado watch in the orange. Now, as far as any severe storms are concerned here in the metro, we are done. That is over. We have no issues ongoing here, even within the 435 loop at this point in time. The rain winding down, coming to an end. If you're trying to get somewhere here in Kansas City and you live in the metro, there are going to be no issues getting you out the door early this morning. I know we have some viewers that are tuning in and wondering, well, the storms have passed, you know, what is the reason that we are on air kind of wall to wall with this coverage? It's because we do have a storm cell out to the south and east where conditions have been a bit more favorable and definitely more prone to this type of storm development with rotation, with the potential to produce a tornado. And we've already seen with the history of this storm, a tornado actually reach the ground as reported by deputies as that moved out of Bates County and into Henry County. Now, even though we still at this point do not have an official confirmation of a tornado on the ground, we are still seeing the signature with our radar as this is showing a little bit of a notch that is still rather concerning. I'm going to go ahead and take the lightning off so we can zoom in just a little bit tighter to this area as we move along. Here's Missouri 2. Here's Missouri 13. There's Chilhowie. There's Leeton. There's a little bit of that notch as this continues, and then it will continue to pass up towards Burtville. I'll zoom out just a little bit more so we can get a better idea of some of the other cities that will potentially be impacted. Sutherland also on there along Missouri 23 as that moves up towards Whiteman Air Force Base. Alex, I know that you had mentioned that was kind of in the direct line of where this warning is kind of heading that direction. So again, some rotation still being detected at this point with this particular cell. I'm not quite sure if we have continued to see any issues with any debris, with any signatures, Alex, but still we still have some notches here. We still have velocity that you're showing behind you,
right,
giving a little bit of a signature of some of that broader rotation right now.
Yes, definitely broad. Something that we've noticed over the last couple of scans. Things are really starting to kind of become a little bit more linear. We're not seeing one little red pocket right next to a little green pocket. Notice that it's kind of a line of reds and greens. So this may indicate that things are kind of turning more to a straight line wind event right along the Henry and Johnson County line in Missouri. We still need to watch out for any rotation as we still have the warning ongoing, but notice how the majority of this trying to move a little bit closer towards Missouri Highway 2. Chilhowie, you're on the west side of this right now, but you still need to be in your safe spot here for the next few minutes. This is heading towards Leeton and right where Missouri Highway 13 and 2 kind of meet, where they intersect there in southern Johnson County. This is still racing out towards the north and east, not as fast as other storm motions that we've seen this morning. However, at a pretty good clip, 40 to 45 miles an hour. That's something that we're going to be watching out for. Really not noticing, again, a lot in the way of circulation with the last little scan of velocity. Let's take a look at our damage detector. Again, really not seeing too much out there outside of probably a good burst of some heavy rain, where we have these little bits of orange, again, right on that intersection of 2 and 13. Maybe there's some small hail happening around the Leeton area, but definitely loud. We've had thunderstorms all morning long here in the Kansas City metro. As Michelle mentioned, we're done for the metro. We're looking south and east of Kansas City right now. At the same time, I'm still keeping eyes on this warning. This is outside of our viewing area. However, it is trending out towards the north and east. This is in Vernon County. This is now a confirmed tornado warning for Vernon County, heading towards the Bates County area. So folks around Rich Hill, east of Rich Hill, we need to be watching out for this here in southern Bates County here over the next half hour or so. Maybe some activity coming back into areas that have already seen a little bit of rotation, Michelle.
Yep, and there is, with that tornado warning, 8 minutes currently left with the one down near Nevada. Definitely seeing that rotation on velocities right now. I definitely would agree with you, Alex, though. The tornado warning that we do have that continues for those in northern Henry County, in addition to southeastern Johnson County on the Missouri side of state line. I think this is definitely starting to turn into more of a big wind event. Now, the cell has also been known to produce some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So in addition to that tornado that we did confirm touched down because of the deputy that we had down moving through Bates County over into Henry County, they had eyes on this. It got rain wrapped, which makes it very difficult to see and track outside of a debris signature that shows up with our debris map that Alex has been showing you, that I showed you previously. All we can really go off of at this point is the rotation that we still continue to see on radar, and this little bit of a notch that still shows some issues as that continues on to move closer towards Missouri 23 as that moves up towards Whiteman Air Force Base and in between Missouri 13. So Burtville, Leeton, Sutherland. These are areas that we are watching. These are areas that we still want you to go ahead at this time, seek shelter, get into that basement, get into an interior room, make sure that there are no windows around you, and put as many walls in between you and the outdoors as possible. Still, even if there is not necessarily a confirmed tornado on the ground, it has a history of producing tornadoes. And again, this warning will continue here 8 a.m. And then, as Alex had already previously mentioned, we are also watching that cell that is just a little bit farther out to the south. With that, now it appears that confirmed observed tornado that's moving through Barton and Vernon counties. So this cell, as that continues to lift up to the north and east, just watching kind of the movement here, I think that that could definitely move into portions of southern Bates County. And if that continues on, it would have some impacts there in southwestern Henry County. So these are the two cells we're watching. This one still very concerning because of the history, but not seeing any ground truth with this particular warning at this time. This cell that is just outside of our viewing area, south of Rich Hill, this does have a confirmed observed tornado with it. So that is what we're going to be watching and monitoring as that does lift into some of our far southern counties. Alex.
All right, Michelle, just getting you some little bit more info here on this tornado warning that is in our viewing area here. Again, Kansas City Metro is fine. This is south and east of Kansas City, northern Henry County into southeastern Johnson County on the Missouri side. We still have another 21 minutes to go on this warning. This is set to expire at 8 a.m. for Calhoun, Chilhowie, Leeton, over towards Windsor. This does include the very far southwestern side of Pettis County as well. It does include Windsor, so there may be some sirens going off there. Head to your safe spot if you are in these cities. We have had a history of a tornado with this. We don't have anything confirmed as of right now, but we have at the very least some very heavy rain, quite a bit of lightning, probably some small hail in this as well. This is a look at our velocities, the wind speeds happening in and around the thunderstorm. Here is 13 and here is Missouri Highway 2. Notice this little bulge just to the west and northwest of Leeton. Maybe there's some wind gusts trying to come right along 2 heading into Leeton. Right now, we're really not seeing any tornadic circulation with this. We did a little earlier over the last 15 to 20 minutes. Now this may have transitioned to a little bit more of a strong wind event. We've had some history of some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts at times inside this tornado warning polygon. Not too much is standing out to me. Inside the polygon, maybe some hail around the Calhoun area down towards the south side. 13 as you head over towards Windsor from Clinton. Maybe there's some hailstones right in there with a little tiny bit of a dropout. So we'll continue to keep eyes on this tornado warning. As of right now, looking a little bit less impressive. You can definitely see quite a bit of reds indicating all the heavy rainfall. It is definitely loud in Henry County, in Johnson County, even over towards Pettis County, getting a little bit more active around the Green Ridge area and then on towards Sedalia. We'll keep you updated with this warning as
Alex,
Michelle.
I do want to quickly touch on the one out to the south that you have had your eye on that kind of piqued your interest, because even though they have not issued the warning to go into southeastern Bates County like I was thinking they might, they kind of have this weird polygon now that you can see. It does not include necessarily southeastern Bates County, but they do have a confirmed tornado. It was located near Nevada. It is moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Again, this was one that they do have confirmed. They have extended this warning, and it's just outside of Bates County. It is not including the southeastern corner like I thought that it might. But because of the rotation that we are seeing down here, as that lifts up, I have a concern for folks in southeastern Bates County. I want to go ahead and zoom on in just to give folks for that area. We're talking about Prairie City, Rockville. Probably a really good time to go ahead and to get into your safe place just in case, because this is a confirmed tornado as signaled by the pink outline there with that tornado warning that is just to your south. So for folks in Prairie City and for Rockville, and this would be along Southeast State Route B into extreme southeast Bates County. I want you to go ahead and to get into your safe space, because even though you do not have that tornado warning issued for that part of the county, with the history that this has, I do have some concerns there. And if it continues on in the direction that it's heading, which I don't see any reason why it wouldn't at this point, I do have a feeling that that will have some impacts there moving back into Henry County, a place that we already saw with the previous warning that is still ongoing out to our north until 8 a.m. So heads up to folks in Montrose, Ladue, Deepwater, right along Missouri 52, headed up towards Clinton into Henry County. This is a confirmed tornado. So I just wanted to pass that along really quickly, Alex.
Thank you, Michelle. Just looking at the debris detector there for that Vernon County storm as it heads close to the Bates County line. That's not something that we want to see right over Nevada there. That dropout where we have some greens, possibly definitely some debris getting lofted there as it moves through Nevada. So not a good situation there for that portion of central Vernon County. Again, as Michelle mentioned, this is heading towards the Bates County line. Here it is towards the top of the screen, away from our viewing area right now, but definitely something to watch here over the next few minutes as it gets a little bit closer to our view. viewing area boundary. Still focused on our tornado warning in the viewing area. Again, northern Henry County, southeastern Johnson County on the Missouri side. Lots of lightning around Leeton, Missouri Highway 2 through that area there in southern Johnson County. Same thing for Missouri Highway 13 away from Clinton up towards the Warrensburg area. This still goes for another about 15 minutes or so until 8 o'clock this morning. As of right now, not really seeing anything from that new warning as far as confirmation goes via radar or storm spotters. So we're still going to keep track of this. Over the last several scans, notice how this is kind of really lined out quite a bit. There are some notches, maybe this little notch right here as it approaches Missouri Highway 13. Maybe we get a little bit more circulation happening around this, just south and west of Leeton. So if you're in Leeton, you need to be in your safe spot just to be on the safe side of this thing. This is tracking towards the north and east, towards Missouri Highway 2. And towards Missouri Highway 13 there in Henry County. This is away from Clinton, but you're probably hearing the sirens in Clinton, Missouri early this morning. This warning is just north of you as it continues up towards about the Leeton area. So Leeton, Windsor, on to about Green Ridge, Missouri Highway 127, Missouri Highway 23 in eastern Johnson County up to about Knobnoster. That's where we probably want to give you an early heads up. Start heading towards your safe spot in those areas there. When we take a look at the debris signature, again, maybe something around the Calhoun area. We'll be keeping eyes on that. That could possibly just be some hail as of right now. When we take a look at where that is in comparison to our couplet, our velocity couplet, that's still just out towards the east. So this is the circulation I'm trying to watch here. Just a little bit of a curve right on top of Missouri Highway 13. Again, as of right now, nothing radar confirmed at the moment. When we take a look at the rotation tracker at the same time, we are tracking this all the way back towards Bates County. It does look like kind of fizzles out a little bit.
Alex.
And it looks like that warning just dropped. So there you go.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead now because we have no more warnings for our area. We do continue with the tornado watch. Again, Alex and I both have our eyes on a tornado warning that is just outside of southeastern Bates County and southern Henry County. If we have the tornado warning continue and it does move into these areas, we will jump back on and keep you posted as to what is going on and all the new upcoming information and updates with radar that we do have for you. For now, we're going to take a break.